Welcome to the channel, everybody. So it's that time again. We're going to go ahead and continue on with the new account. We're going to be working on the next 7 hours of the account, seeing where we can't get to. We're getting a lot closer to earning that 4-star Nick Fury, and we are going to go ahead and not get that earned today. So let's go ahead and get Act 3 underway and get in here. I'll talk to you about how things went. Right off the bat here, obviously, login calendar, picked up a little bit off of that. And then we went ahead and collected checked what our solo objectives were going to be, what we had finished in the alliance, what rewards we had, and where we were going to be at for this. Now, this one is going to be a little bit more hours than what we've been doing for the last few recaps, just because I want to go ahead and get us caught up a little bit more. Plus, on top of that, there was a few more things that were a little tedious there. But we did get our first 5-star shards there, which are absolutely fabulous. We are going to be earning our first 5-star champion. Well, I believe probably the next video. It will not be this one, but we are going to get the first one very soon here. Looking forward to talking to you about the first one. We've actually already earned our first 3 on that account, which is absolutely shocking compared to what it was whenever I started the first account, my main account or my second account. But as you can see there, we got through Old Man Logan for the final time there, and then moved on to the next level to go ahead and take down Corvus. We're going to go ahead and take him out 4 times here, and continue on with this. In the process of getting through him, obviously we got the first time down. Here's the second time. We're going to get the third time here with Captain Marvel movie. She obviously does quite a bit of work for us. So does Apocalypse. On our way to that 4th time, we were able to pick up our level 29 there, which does expand our ability to hold more inventory, which is always useful. And then we went ahead and finished off that 4th time of taking down Corvus, and just immediately moved on to the next level and on to that level boss, which of course is Elsa Bloodstone. Now, after we took down Elsa, we wanted to go ahead and do a few other things here. Obviously, we'd earned quite a bit of rewards. Wanted to see where we were at towards that Nick Fury. Got another milestone there, and wanted to see what we were looking at on our masteries. We did go ahead and unlock another mastery here with Petrify. We unlocked Stupefy first. But we are going to hit ahead and building up those cores so that we can get all the different masteries unlocked. We did need to go over and do hard difficulty on the Catalyst Vault for the Nick Fury challenge there. That was able to go ahead, and since we were going to do that anyways, let's go ahead and grab some catalysts that are going to work for Nick Fury. And then by this point, we'd built up a few crystals, so we might as well see where we're at that point as well, because we needed to level up yet another 3 champions to go ahead and get the next milestone out of the way here. So I wanted to make sure what we were working with for inventory, getting these crystals open. Obviously, we're not getting anything spectacular here with just getting 2-star sig stones and those low-level catalysts, but every one of these things plays into what we need to pick up and what we don't need to pick up, what resources we need to put into things, how far we can get. Obviously, gold is always a massive resource that for those of us who are further into our accounts realize that gold is always in high demand. It's probably the most finite resource in the game. Now, we did pick up another 3-star Mystic Awakening gem, which we've been setting on one for a hot minute there because we never wanted to use it on Doctor Strange. Needed to go over and pick up a little bit of materials to go ahead and do that first rank up. So we went over and picked up that level 1 class catalyst to be able to push up Angela here. put some ISO into her, got her leveled up, and we're going to go ahead and push up a couple more champions here. Honestly, did go ahead and decide to push up Strange a little bit more because we'd already put so many resources into him already. Still not looking to use that Awakening gem on him whatsoever. The one thing I probably should have used on him was the rank up gem, which I chose not to use on him, which did use up resources that we could have put on somebody else. But at the same time, again, we're looking for some more high level Mystic champions to go ahead and put things into. Like I said, we got the rank up gem there. Obviously, we can pick up more tier 3 class catalysts over time, though they are probably one of the harder things to pick up at the higher level because you only get fragments from doing the daily passes through those challenges. But even with that being said, we know that on these early on accounts, it's not as hard to pick up those tier 3 class catalysts. But we were dipping into our ISO quite a bit there. You saw we pretty much went through every bit of ISO that we had. So we came down here to go ahead and just rank up a 1-star champion. Stark Spidey is absolutely a great champion there, especially as a 1-star. So he'll probably come into a factor when we go in and look at some of the other game modes in time. Plus, on top of that, if we do end up with a 1 and 2-star arena at some point, having him leveled up is not going to be a bad thing. Speaking of arena, we did go ahead and come over here to arena and run a bit of arena so that we could grab some more premium hero shards, because I did want to make sure that I got enough to be able to do a trade in there. Obviously, this is going to be the first time that Kabam's going to talk to us about battle chips as well as what you can do in the arena, because we hadn't taken this account into arena yet. We are going to go ahead and do several fights throughout the arena here before we move on and call it a day on this particular day. We went through quite a bit of the roster. Not that the roster is that extensive at this point. I did use one of our first arena boosts there to go ahead and build up some points. Obviously, earning points in these low-level arenas for the main account or even the secondary account is so much easier than it is for this brand new account, just because of the fact that, we don't have a whole roster full of ranked up 3 stars, which, on my main account, I can run through milestones in just a few hours there. But, without having that extensive roster, we do have to hold back a little bit and understand that it's going to take us more rounds of arena than it normally would to even hit the first milestone of that 17K there. So we went ahead and just powered through, got up to the 17K, like I said, with a few different fights. That way we could pick up those shards, because I knew that I was really close to having enough shards to be able to go over to the Black ISO market and trade those in. And obviously this was before we realized that we were going to get that extension on the sigil there. But we were still in that first 7-day period where they give you the sigil for free for the first 7 days, trying to encourage you to buy it. So I wanted to make sure we were taking every advantage of it as we could, because as I pointed out repeatedly, this account will remain free to play 100% all the way through the banquet event. We will get whatever progression we get from now until the banquet event without spending a single dime on this account, which is more of a testament to what does Kabam put out over these next few months. How much opportunities do we have? What can we do with our roster? We are, like I said, we've already got we're getting a pretty decent start on the 3-star roster there. Got Black Cat and Heimdall and Captain Marvel movie, Apocalypse, Colossus. The list just continues to go on with the good start that we've had so far as 3 stars. Nick Fury is going to be the first 4-star on the count, I do believe. But that being said, I mean, we're just pushing further and further. And I honestly will see if our luck continues on pulls. We do know that obviously anybody who watches my crystal opening videos knows I often am able to have phenomenal luck on crystal pulls, but that's the main account. Will the RNG be as good to us on the new account as it has been on the main account? I'm a little doubtful and a little skeptical. Just because of the fact that, like I said, we were looking for a decent 3-star Mystic Champion for so long because we were ignoring that Mutant Awakening gem that we talked about in the last video. And, you know, we just couldn't find one that was... we couldn't find a Mystic in general, let alone a Mystic worth putting that Awakening gem into. Now, as you can see here, we could have continued on and pushed for the next milestone, but we were able to go ahead and pick up the shards that we were looking for there so that we had enough to go ahead and trade in our Prim shards on a guaranteed 3-star. That is a mixed bag, I will tell you that much. Obviously, right off the bat here, for an account, you could go ahead and pop Prims all day long because you do have a chance of that 4-star coming out there, which is obviously what we'll do from this point forward after we run out of the sigil. But as long as the sigil's active and you have access to the black ISO market, considering more often than not, the Prim shards are going to get you just 2 stars. The likelihood of actually pulling a 4-star out of a Prim shard is so low that if you can trade them in, if the black ISO market is something that you have access to, I think it's a better value to go ahead and trade them in for more opportunity. Obviously, in previous videos, you've seen us trade it in to get multiple Prim crystals as opposed to just opening one. That in itself can be useful. But even with that being said, you know, we want to be a little cautious about things and be tactical about how we're doing things here. Obviously, we want to make sure that we are giving ourselves as much chance as we can for account growth here. Now, that being said, we're not in any rush here. You can see, you know, that obviously I pushed through Act 3 for the most part. We will finish up Act 3 in this video here and be ready to start moving on to Act 4. But with that being said, you know, it's not one of those things where I'm trying to reach Paragon in the first month of having the account. First off, for anyone who does achieve that, that is a phenomenal thing, but I don't think it's, you know, for most of us even realistic, and definitely not realistic for somebody who just picks up the game for the first time there. Now, as you can see, like I said, we did trade in those Prim shards for a 3-star. We did get a Mystic Champion again. It was a long shot there, but I wanted, you know, I still wasn't quite sure that was the champion I wanted to invest in. So I went ahead and just pushed through and burnt out the rest of my energy there so that we could go ahead and leave it there and call it a night. Now, we picked up on the next day. We're going to be a little bit more tactical about this. Now, we do have the gold track available to us, which is actually phenomenal if you start a new account during the time period that the triple track event is on. There are so many bonuses that you can get out of that. Obviously, you do have to reach a certain progression level before you even have a chance at that, but we have that ability on this already. Like I said, we went ahead and pushed through. I did make the tactical decision at this point to go ahead and skip over just 100%ing and come back to it, because we got to the point that all we needed to do was get to and take down Thanos for the first time, and that would get us the Nick Fury. And I figured, honestly, if I could go back and finish those last 3 levels 100% with a 4 star, it was going to be more valuable to us than taking the time to 100% them before we got our first 4 star. Especially being the fact that I knew very well that Nick Fury was a very viable option for that for us. Now, as you can see here, we came back again later that evening. The first part of the day there was, just doing a little bit early on in the day just to kind of check in. Came back earlier in the evening and was able to go ahead and push through to Thanos here and get that first go in at him. Obviously, this is one of those fights that, depending on where you're at in the game, you probably already fought this one 5 times, I believe, is the amount of pass that is on this one, real easily, and you're already quite well moved on. But this is probably going to be one of your first challenging fights. Obviously, Apocalypse here is handling him without a problem, and in spite the fact of taking a few major hits there, we've already got him down to 21% health, and we are continuing to work our way down to having him all the way down, and we are able to go ahead and do that, which is a huge amount of rewards for us. Not only is it an upgrade in title, not only is it the rewards for the first pass through, which gave us quite a bit of shards, the 5 Prim crystals, 2 more 3-star crystals, but also on top of that, it gave us Nick Fury as well. Now, in the process of which, we got kicked from yet another alliance. But we were able to go ahead and join our next alliance there, which, as of this point in time, has remained our alliance all the way through to this point. That may change as time goes on. Obviously, earning that next progression title opened up a few things that we hadn't already gotten yet, and we had to go ahead and reset and come back into the game to be able to collect Nick Fury there, because of the fact that we had to have that progression title and proof that we had done it. Not a big deal. Figured since we were already to this point, let's go ahead and open some crystals. All 2 stars on the prims there. Again, exactly why I explained to you that maybe it's a better thing to go ahead and trade in some of those prim shards when you have the opportunity, because you do have that likelihood 5 crystals, and yet we still ended up with nothing but 2 stars. We were able to get enough there for that for that first full 4-star crystal, which got us Korg, as you saw, which gave us 2 4 stars. Now, that is kind of a mixed bag, especially considering that, yes, Korg is great, especially for defense purposes, but out of the 2 of them, the resources are going to go more so to Nick Fury than it is going to go to Korg, and they are both going to be looking at using the exact same resources there. Now, that did open up an opportunity to go after Gold Pool yet again, and for actual rewards again, because of the fact that we got the new progression title. So we went ahead and did that, because again, like I said, gold is one of the things that a lot of us starves for. That gave us the 50,000 gold there. We're still sitting in a little over 500,000. We ran ourselves out of energy for the night and went ahead and called it. Took a quick look at our roster to make sure that there wasn't anything that we really needed to pay attention to. Came back in the next day. Obviously, we're still in the Alliance, but Alliance Quest had ended. We couldn't get into Alliance Quest right away, just because we have to have a certain amount of time into the Alliance before that was an option. Did go ahead and buy a few more Mastery Cores, checking to see what other rewards we have eligible to us, and back to taking down Ebony Maw so that we can go ahead and finish Act 3 and 100% it. We do not finish it fully in this video, but we will finish it up in the next one, guys. So make sure you're checking back for that soon. If you're not up to date on the challenge, the previous videos in this series are already in a playlist. Feel free to go over and check that out. We did go ahead and push through quite a bit here, and we're able to go ahead and pick up some resources. One of the things, obviously, that we needed to be able to level up Nick Fury was some of those tier 4 basics. And again, like I said, those are a finite resource, but we went ahead and ran proving grounds there so that we could go ahead and pick those up and be able to have them ready to be able to finally push him up and get ourselves into a little better position. The Inferno event there was also a help. Obviously didn't know that was coming before we decided to start the account here, but hey, any little extra bonuses, I think a new account highlights those extra bonuses more than any other way that you can do it. We were able to go ahead and get Nick up to level 2 there, but could not push up to level 3 because again, we need more of the tier 4 or tier 3 basics. So took a look at everything there, and that is where we are going to go ahead and wrap things up. We are able to go ahead and push through quite a bit there. Obviously we've got the Conqueror title now, or we have the proven title, and we're going to push through to that Conqueror title very soon here. Definitely something that's going to be a big benefit to the account, especially with that platinum, that gold track, and being able to pick up some more resources. Make sure you guys are checking back in. We're going to finish this series up, the updates on it, so that we can start doing some of these live next week. We are going to have a live stream tomorrow evening as normal. We do have live streams, and we are also going to make sure that we are going to start live streaming more often. We were able to do that a few times this week, and going to step that up a bit more starting next week. Definitely want to continue to have some of these videos out. Do realize with the Act 4 and 5 reworks coming, we probably should update the uncollected challenge. May use the new account here to do that, so we'll see how that goes. And we'll have a crystal opening on Monday, so guys, make sure that you're checking back in. Just want to say thank you to everybody for all the support, all the love, all the likes, all the super chats, all the everything that you guys have done. The channel is growing phenomenally, and it's all because of you guys. Yeah, I'm the one putting in the work, I'm the one putting in the videos, but if you guys aren't watching them, it doesn't matter. So I do want to thank every one of you, and I hope to see more of you in live streams soon, and I will see you guys back for the next one. Peace out.